West Bloomfield athletes have been making all sorts of records and incredible accomplishments all year long, and the West Bloomfield girls tennis team has added on to that ever-growing list. As for the second year in a row, the varsity girls tennis team has secured a spot in the Michigan State Tennis Tournament, finishing second to Bloomfield Hills with 20 points. Here to share his thoughts on the West Bloomfield girls tennis team's recent success is their head coach, Chris Ludwig, joining us right now on The Splash. Chris, great to have you with us.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Glad to be getting into this conversation. Big congratulations on another stellar season. What do you think were the key factors that contributed to the team's return to the state tournament this year?
We were fortunate to have a lot of core players from the last couple of years still be in the lineup, good leadership. That really helps out to have those guys know good experience on the tennis team goes a long way. So we had a lot of core players, and specifically our singles lineup was very good this year. They basically kind of paved the way in doubles, although we're doing very well and improving every week. There's still a lot of inexperience, but they're getting much better as time goes on.
I mean, from everything I've heard, the team has had 6 flights reach the finals, including all of the singles players. What does that say about the depth and consistency of your roster?
Yeah, it's nice to have players, first off, listen. Too often as a coach, you mention things on the court, and fortunately throughout the year, a lot of the players are listening, and by the end of the year, they're understanding what they need to do on the court. And although sometimes they make mistakes on occasion, that's okay. But for the most part, they're understanding what they need to do and implementing it. And it was great to see, again, as you said, the singles players all make it to the finals, and doubles teams were still right there and doing very well too, and carried us to an extra 8 points to help us get to the state tournament this year.
That's right. Every single one of your players has made incredible accomplishments throughout this run. One of those players being Elise Lividoti. Her performance in the finals was noted as particularly gutsy. Can you talk about her match and what it revealed about her resilience as a player?
Well, Lisa's a rock star for one. She's always been, from the beginning, she's been in the singles lineup all 4 years. She's been the hardest working. I think last year we voted her for. She's a rock star, and everything you could do, everything you want as a coach and a player, Elise is that. And for her singles matches, she's done a great year. Had a great year. I think she's 13-6 on the year for one singles, which is very tough, especially in this county. And she went into the finals being pretty tired, but she took a set off of Bloomfield Hills, which we've never done, at least since I've been coaching. And obviously Bloomfield Hills always has a very, very good team. And for her to even take a set in singles is fantastic. And unfortunately, her didn't have quite the endurance at the very end, but still, it's a fantastic senior season for her.
It's an incredible senior season, and she should be very proud of what she's accomplished this year. And with a 12-4 record and 2 tournament wins, how does this season compare to past seasons in terms of growth and achievement?
It's a good question. Yeah, I think this year we didn't know what we had in the doubles lineups. Singles, we knew that we had some very solid players, and we kind of knew that we would get some wins there. But in doubles, it was going to be luckily we got some freshmen come in, which was fantastic. But we were very, very much not knowing what was going to be in doubles, and so the growth there was fantastic. It started right off the get-go, and we got a couple tournament wins, one at Holt. And the other one we hosted, and that actually technically we were tied, but we won by head-to-head against Wall Lake Central. But it was really close, and a lot of the teams, a lot of players, like I said, they bought into what we're teaching, and luckily they've done a great job. And like I said, it's a fantastic year. Overall, this year has been a learning experience. I think there's a lot of good stuff going forward into the next couple of years that this team will continue to be good for the next couple of years.
Everything that these players are learning right now is going to help them so much in the long run, and that's all thanks to everything that you've done for them. For those just joining us right now on the Splash Live, we're talking with West Bloomfield girls tennis coach Chris Ludwig, talking about the tennis team's recent success and their qualification for the Michigan State Tennis tournament. Now, Chris, were there any specific moments or turning points during the season that signaled to you that this team had what it takes to return to states?
Yeah, we had a couple matches in our league. So this year we had a goal of getting third place in our league. We knew that North Farmington and Rochester were maybe just a notch above, but we could still compete with them very well. But for us, it was to make third place. And all three matches that we won in the league were all very tight. And I basically told the girls at times, hey, every single game counts, because it could potentially be a match where if we tie 4-4 in league rules, you have to have sets won or games lost as a tiebreaker. And so every game counted, and they all kind of got that down. And once they heard that, specifically in the Berkeley match, it seemed like they understood, like, every point counts, every single shot counts. And yeah, we ended up winning against Berkeley 4-4, but we won by sets won by one set. And the Troy, Athens, and I forgot the other match. The Berkeley and Troy, Athens, and Lake Orion match, we won 5-3, but it was all very, very tight. So those matches, I thought, was a big indicator of this team coming in clutch when they needed to.
Well, I mean, winning these games in such a close fashion, I mean, that's got to feel even better than a traditional win might feel. It just shows how much hard work is going into this team. And team chemistry often plays a very big role when it comes to success. What's been the dynamic among the players this year, both on and off the court?
Yeah, so I think, again, a lot of those core players have been around for the last 4 or 5 years, and we've had some really good teams in the past too, 2-3 years ago as well. But those players, unfortunately, we were in a different regional that some of the best teams in the state won. One year we had the first place, fourth place, and ninth place team in the same region. So even though we had a really good team, it was just tough to get out of there. But they understood that, our philosophy, our way to win and our way to practice here, and then being able to push that to the younger underclassmen or the new people on varsity, that goes a long way to, takes a little bit off of me as a coach and allows the players to kind of self-regulate the team chemistry and allow them to kind of buy into the system so that we can continue to be a good program and a top 20 program every year.
Well, this season has been off to a great run, but it's not over yet. You've got a big upcoming state tournament in Grand Rapids. How have you and the rest of the coaching staff started to prepare the girls mentally and physically for what's to come?
Well, we did take a little break right after the regional, just because we met all our goals this year. But then from there, I said, hey, guys, we have nothing to lose. We are, there's a lot of really good teams there. And the cool part is we get to go out there and show show the best that we can do. So you go out there and play not to lose. And a lot of times when we have that type of mindset, you see a lot of improvement and see a lot of good things happen on the court. So, yeah, we're really excited. We're just got to pin down a few things that we want to work on, specifically being a little more aggressive at the net and doubles, and then singles, kind of working the cross-court stuff a little bit more. But they kind of understand what they need to do, and so we got about a week here to work on it and see if we can perfect some of those things, or at least make it more manageable so that we can have some success in Grand Rapids.
I love that mindset. You're like, hey, we've achieved all of our goals. We got nothing to lose, playing with house money, and you're off to a great run in Grand Rapids, and can't wait to see what's to come with the tennis team from there. Chris, I got one more quick question for you before we wrap things up. What are your goals for the team at States, and are there any specific matchups or teams that you're specifically preparing for?
Good question. There's a lot of teams. Usually, I think when I looked last time, I think we have 18 teams or 20 teams there. So a lot of those teams we don't get to see throughout the year. So we don't really have a team other than Bloomfield Hills and maybe Troy Athens that we've seen before. Obviously, anytime we play a league team, we'd like to kind of beat them. But I think for us, it's just kind of go out there, see what we can do against other parts of the state and other teams in the state, and see if we can come out with some wins. And the goal would probably be, depends on how the draws come out, because I always kind of know what teams are pretty strong and other teams that are definitely beatable. But 3-4 points would be nice, and that usually places you in the top 15 in the state. And obviously, if we have a good flight, win a couple of matches, which always can happen, we've seen it plenty of times before with other teams, then you could still be looking at a top 10 team potentially. So that'd be the goal, and it would be a good success for us this year with how young our team is.
Certainly would be. Best of luck to you, and best of luck to all of the players on the tennis team. Chris, thank you so much for joining us today here on the Splash Live.
Thank you. Appreciate it.